Hello, investors. Welcome to the channel where I use technical analysis to find possible swing trades. Before I get started, I'd like to make it clear I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say here is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes. Technical indicators like those I use here are not accurate 100% of the time. The fundamentals of a company and macroeconomic factors can drive share price changes differently than we'd expect based on technical indicators. My goal is to bring these companies to your attention so you can decide for yourself whether or not they're good investments for you. So please, if you plan on investing, do your own due diligence before purchasing shares in any company or consult with a financial advisor. And that said, today we're taking a look at a short opportunity in General Motors Co., ticker symbol GM. I don't think anyone needs an introduction to General Motors. It's one of the major auto manufacturers in North America. Here we are on the annual chart. You can see it's had quite a run up recently. If you look, this is actually 9 consecutive green days in a row, pushing the share price well above all the moving averages. Now, I admit it is not quite at the level where I'd say for sure that this is looking to hit resistance. Somewhere between $41, $42. That seems to be the resistance level. In fact, if we move the time frame out a bit, you'll see that this holds true even prior to COVID. And here's the crash of COVID. And then we have the ridiculous run up in vehicle prices that took place during the lockdown and thereafter. And now prices have come back into line with basically where they were before. And even if we zoom out to the 10-year chart, you'll see it's still not too far off where it was prior to COVID and for about the last 10 years. So this is a pretty stable share price. Some might even call it a dinosaur stock. And in case what it looks like we will hit here is around $41 to $42. It could hit a overhead resistance and bounce lower, if not sooner. That will all depend on when we finally start getting red days. And scrolling down, the RSI is in overbought zone. The stochastics are overbought and have turned bearish. The volume chart shows what you might expect. We have 9 green buying days in a row, although the volume does appear to be roughly average. And the MACD has plateaued, and I can't say that it has exactly started to fall again, but again, if we give it another day or two, I think that will resolve itself. And for those who are perhaps interested, I will switch over to E-Trade and take a look at the fundamentals briefly. This is relatively small short interest, 2.37%. The debt to equity ratio shows it has more debt than 88% of other auto manufacturers, which is not a good thing. And compounding that is the fact that the gross margin here is average. So you have a debt to equity that is well above average and a gross margin that is average, which is not a good combination. However, this is offset a bit, in my opinion, by the operating margin, which is better than 86% of other auto manufacturers. That's pretty impressive. However, the operating margin is only 6.25%, which for anyone who knows anything about the auto industry, you know that operating margins are extremely slim, and 6.25% is nothing to write home about, but it does beat out the vast majority of other auto manufacturers. And if we look over at the PE ratio here, you'll see that PE ratio is actually lower than 76% of other companies in the industry, the PE being 6.12. The return on equity shows that it's actually more efficient than 84% of its competitors, but that return on equity is only 14.09%. And the growth rate is average. And looking at the dividend, you'll see that the dividend is nothing to get excited over. It's less than 1%. And it is less than 85% of others in the industry. payout ratio of 4.12% is commensurate with this pathetically low dividend yield and shows that they aren't supporting it well, but it does mean that the dividend you do receive is quite secure. So all that put together tells me that I think GM is a good company as far as automakers go, but the auto industry is not necessarily a great place to hope for massive returns. So I'm curious if any of you have insights into GM. I might wait to see over the next couple of trading days to see if it rises higher, and perhaps we can get up over 41 before shorting, or more likely I'll look at some bear call spreads above 44. But I'd like to know what you think, and please leave your opinions in the comments below. And if you got something out of the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to help out the channel. If you enjoy these brief overviews of companies that might be good swing trades, please leave a comment to push that YouTube algorithm. And if you'd like me to take a look at a particular company using the indicators I present here, just mention that in the comments and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and good luck with all your investments.